So a brand new site that I built generated its first qualified lead within 24 hours of the website being built. So let's talk about it. Hey everyone, Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and it's been a while since I've done any content. Been insanely sick for almost a week and a half now, and before that was Christmas, and I had actually announced that we're going to kind of just take a little bit of a break, but it ended up being a break longer than I would have liked. So the video with the 12 case study sites, that's going to be coming soon as I feel 100%, but I really wanted to get this video up on here for you guys because I want to share some valuable things that I've done with one particular site that was able to actually generate its very first qualified lead in about 24 hours after the actual site was built and indexed. Extremely quick. I'm not going to say that this is going to be a regular thing. It was probably just a fluke thing, and with the way that the site was indexed with the tool that I'm going to show you guys here, it was one of those things that basically allowed it to be somewhere really high up in the search results and then kind of fell back a little bit, and then over time as we build links, of course, we'll get right back up to the top of those search results to capture some of that traffic. And I do have to say that it was kind of nice to take a break for the past few days and not really worry about YouTube or anything like that, and still seeing more and more subscribers coming in. So that's really cool, and I'm actually really grateful that you guys are all here. So anyways, I want to share with you the process for what I did with this particular site and how it was able to generate its first lead in less than a day's time, which, by the way, again, I don't want to stress and make it sound like this is something that's going to happen on a regular basis, and it's probably not going to happen to you if you're a beginner, but if you follow this process, you're going to set yourself up to start to achieve rankings faster than if you're just going out there and throwing something at the wall, hoping it's going to rank. So surprise, surprise, the very first thing that we did was on page. This is so important. I cannot stress it enough how important it is to set up that meta title, the meta description, and for the most part the URL. Since it's a single city focused site, you don't really have to worry too much with the actual URL structure. It's basically just, let's say it's Minneapolis electrician, for example, and if you're at a page for wiring, you're just going to name the page home wiring installation or whatever it may be. So the first thing that's so incredibly important, and if this is something that you are not doing, you're just really going to be missing out. On page, specifically meta title, meta description. There was one of the sites that I set up initially, and that actually I started working on before I got really sick, and I basically just had to stop for a period of about 4 or 5 days where I didn't even go on my computer, and that page ranked and is sitting on like the 9th page, and I didn't finish the site until just a couple days ago. So it was ranking on page 9 for a pretty competitive search. I think the keyword data was like 70 searches a month with cost per click of like $22. It was in the electrician niche. So it's a pretty competitive search result, and we're already showing up in the 9th spot with a page that has no content, at least at this time, had no content and had only meta title and meta description that were optimized. So that's how important this is, that you do this the right way. If you're doing this on a home page, for example, this one site that we were doing that on was a one-page site, and if you're doing this with just, let's say it's a Minneapolis electrician, you need to make sure that meta title is set up for Minneapolis electrician, electrical contractors in Minneapolis, whatever niche it is that you're targeting. Use different syllables of what the niche is. For example, with plumber or plumbing contractor, those two different types of variables. And then for the description, ridiculously simple. You just lay out professional, whatever contractor in, and then city, comma, state, period. And then you can do offering residential and commercial services, and then you can list out maybe a couple of the individual services, or just write out efficient electrical contracting services for residential and commercial customers. So that way if someone goes out there and types in commercial electrical contractor in whatever city, your page has a good chance of showing up. And then of course a quick call to action at the end of that in the description as well. So call the phone number or request service, and we'll be in touch today. And you can go over that 160 character limit. I do it all the time. It really doesn't matter. Yoast is of course going to have alarms going off, but either way, setting up the meta title, meta description for the niches that you're targeting in the city, obviously, and throwing in some of the variables in there. Cannot stress this enough with how important that is to have set up, so that you will be able to rank not only quickly but effectively as well. This isn't necessarily going to be a 2-week thing. You want to be able to rank for many months, and doing that will help you do so. Now the second thing that I used that helped me get this first lead in a ridiculously short time frame, again, don't expect it, but it's just a cool thing that happened, so I figured, hey, let's make a video on it because I'm sure a lot of people don't do these two things. But the second thing is bulk add URL, basically a tool that will work on behalf of Google, essentially, that will get your sites indexed way quicker than waiting for the sitemap and then Google to eventually crawl it, and it usually takes a lot longer, usually like a week you'd have to wait. By the way, this does not make you exempt from not having a sitemap on your site by using one of the plugins, whether you're using Yoast, which has it built in, or the XML Sitemaps by Arnie Bratchold. But anyways, this service, I have no idea how it works. I'm not a developer, I'm not a coder or anything like that. It doesn't matter, I don't care, because I'm here to use this as leverage. We're entrepreneurs, we're not developers, coders, and we don't need to know the specifics of how these things work. It doesn't matter, you just use the service and leverage it to your abilities. So that way you can use it to leverage and acquire revenue via these tools by expediting the process to get your site to be shown in the search results. So anyways, this does have a cost. It's going to be like $5, and I think it will give you like 300, 400 URLs that you can send to be indexed. So very, very, very cost affordable, and is a ridiculously cheap tool. So one URL costs 2 cents. So once you go log in, you pay and all that sort of stuff. Click add new task, and you're going to enter in whatever URLs you want. So let's say we have maybe 4 pages that we're going to get indexed. The home page of a new site, the request service page, and then maybe, let's say it's an electrician website, so we're going to have home generator installation, and then we're going to have a page for wiring installation or home wiring, those services. We put those right in here, and what I will do is I will receive an email when the task is finished. As you can see, the default is no. So that way I just know when it's complete. So then you just click send and they go to work and do it for you. And it usually takes a little bit of time, maybe an hour at most. And then what you'll want to do is a couple hours after the job is done, go to the search results for the keywords that you were targeting with each one of those pages that you put into the bulk add URL. On incognito mode in your Chrome browser, you're going to want to go and look and see where your sites are placed. And usually what will happen is that the site will rank pretty high, and sometimes it drops off a little bit. And that's where I think that lead had come from, because it probably was showing up somewhere on first or second page. This person needed what the work was immediately, and they were just searching through, and I think it came in on the day before Christmas or something like that, and it was probably a time when a lot of companies weren't even open, and my site was right there and ready to go. And the most important thing that you must do when you use bulk add URL is having links built and social signals that are going to be pointing at your new site, because otherwise if Google sees that, okay, there's this site and okay, it looks good, we're going to put it on page 3 right away. Then if you don't have links coming in, Google sees that, okay, this is still a new site, nothing's going on, there's no traffic really, and there's no other links coming to the site or pointing at the site, they're just gonna let it drop off, and then boom, you're on page 8. So granted, you can dig your way out of that very easily with just PBNs, and depending on the competition of the search result that you are targeting with your site, it may not take a whole lot. Again, it depends on the city, and every single search result is different. The answer is not black and white as to how many links it's going to take to rank your site on the top of the first page. But what you need to do is have citations ordered up as soon as you can, and then also social signals, and that will help you with getting some trust and authority into the site, and with being able to have the site indexed really quickly with bulk add URL, you're able to see where the site's able to place, and then you can see what kind of work you have ahead of you for the PBNs and the other link building that you're going to be doing. So anyways, hopefully you got some value out of this. Go and make sure that your meta title and meta description are on point. That is probably one of the most important things with a new site. The actual content that's seen on the page that the person is going to be reading through is very, very important, but it's also equally as important as the meta title, meta description. Set those up and then use bulk add URL, and then make sure you order citations and social signals immediately when you are done with the site, or even while you're building it, frankly, because it will probably take them a day or two to build both of those things. And that was the exact process for how I was able to generate a new lead within about 24 hours of a website's existence. Again, I want to say this for like the 5th time. Don't expect this. I'm not going to expect this on new sites or anything like that. It's just one of those things where it was right place, right time. It's not something to expect. This isn't like we're running ads for an e-commerce store where you can get sales within minutes of an ad being approved. But it was a cool anomaly, and I figured I'd share how I go about this process. The full-on in-depth video is going to be coming soon when I'm back to 100%, but I wanted to get this video up on here for you guys to watch and to learn something. And hopefully you guys like this type of information, and more importantly, you go and take action with this information, because if you don't do anything when you're watching my content, it's really going to be wasting your time. So anyways, if you got this far in the video, I appreciate it down below. Dropped a like, and if you're not already part of our ever-growing family, go down below, smash that subscribe button, and also hit the bell for notifications so you know when all the newest content comes live. And if you want to get more guided step-by-step training on how to build a website, rank that website, and monetize it with a local affiliate offer, there are links right down below to our courses where you can get access to that guided step-by-step training and a whole lot more. So with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.